Good morning, Bill.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Great. I'm in Jersey, New Jersey, recruiting.
Ooh,
I'm on the road.
Have you encountered Bill Belichick on the recruiting trail yet?
Ooh. I think I'm following him a little bit. I think he's been in Jersey already. So no, I haven't actually run into him, but he's out there, no question. A lot of competition on the road.
Billy,
If
you saw Bill, would it be like that scene in Anchorman when competing TV stations run into each other?
It would be very cordial, Curtis.
Okay,
very cordial.
Good.
I don't know if you're on the road, so probably not. But yesterday, Scheim, during his lead, was very upset about Patriots fans, calling them sheep because they are happy with the hiring of Josh McDaniels. You had been talking on this show the week previous about Josh and your respect for him, and so I'm assuming that you would be polar opposite when it comes to your opinion, to the opinion of Scheim on this hire by Mike Vrabel and by the Patriots.
Yeah, Scheim and I are usually on the same page, but I would say on this one we're probably not. I think that Josh is a proven coordinator in that league. He's extremely bright. He's stayed up with the trends in that league. He knows how to coach young quarterbacks. He's done it several times. He's a good developer of quarterbacks, and he's a good fit for the Patriots. He has, institutional knowledge of the culture of the Patriots. And, those guys are going to be who they are. Mike's going to be Mike, and Josh is going to be Josh. But, I mean, there's a winning tradition at the Patriots that I think they'll all work hard to get back to, and Josh knows how to coach offense.
Bill, you've kind of been down this road before. How does Josh adapt the offensive scheme? Because it's kind of the scheme, or at least from where I see it, what Charlie Weiss started it out, but it wasn't really about having a mobile quarterback. Now Josh has a mobile quarterback. You've kind of used that scheme, and you've had some mobile quarterbacks. How do you change and adapt that scheme to having a guy that you can now add in some design runs with?
Yeah, I think that's the key to being a good coordinator. I think, over the course of time, you always have to, when you have a great quarterback, you've got to design everything around what his skill set is. And, Drake can do a lot, right? He's got a really good arm. He's very accurate. He can anticipate. And like you said, Wick, he can run. So, I think Josh has done that in the past. Garoppolo could run. I mean, even back in 2008, I was the wide receiver coach when Tom injured his knee, and Josh was a coordinator, and we had Matt Castle. And Matt Castle, he could run, and so we did some things with Matt to get him outside the pocket and to do some different things to put pressure on the defense. So, I don't think Josh will have any issue with that. That's kind of the way the league is right now. If you look at this Final Four of teams in the league, and Jaden Daniels and Josh Allen, and obviously Pat Mahomes, and these guys are Jalen Hurts. These guys are mobile, and so I think he'll be ready to adapt to what the offense needs to be.
Bill, what do you say to people, Scheim included, but he's not the only one, that say that Josh McDaniels is only known for Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is the reason that Josh McDaniels gets a nod, and what else has he done? Who else has he been able to bring to be a great, and that the Patriots are just relying on our nostalgia to get us back on board with Josh McDaniels?
No, I don't agree with that. I mean, I think if you look at who he's developed over time, even at the Patriots, when Garoppolo had to play, Jacoby Brissett had to play, Matt Castle had to play, over the course of his career, he's been able to develop all types of quarterbacks. And I think he'll do a great job with Drake. I mean, I know you guys it seems like you're setting up me and Scheim to be arguing. I mean, Scheim and I are usually on the same page. Yeah. I don't really want to, gee, Scheim, I'm sorry, Scheim. I don't know if you're there today, but
yeah, Billy, my issue.
We're definitely not in agreement on Josh McDaniels.
Well, I guess Billy, my issue is I've seen you go out and have success and win games with guys like Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brock Osweiler, TJ Yates, Tom Savage, like you name it. Like there's a long list of them that you have won games with that haven't necessarily been, a top 5 quarterback in the league. And then I just look at Josh's resume, and his doesn't match up nearly as good. And so for me, it's a massive concern.
He invited you to be a guest at one camp. He's not hiring you.
I didn't say he was.
Look,
I'm not trying to just glaze the guy. Like it's it's true.
You can stop washing. You can stop washing Billy from Andover.
One of my favorite things about Billy O is that he has won multiple games with TJ Yates, who I don't know if he started for another team. Like that is awesome.
Well, I do appreciate you saying that, Shab. I really do. But I will tell you that, if you look back and you really look at let's just look at when Josh was at the Patriots. When he had Tom, obviously Tom was the best to ever do it. But there were several other guys that came in underneath Tom that you had to get ready to play that were obviously completely different than Tom. And when those guys had to play over the course of the history of the Patriots offense, those guys were very successful. I mean, go back to Matt. We were 11-5 with Matt. I think we were one of the few 11-5 teams to not make the playoffs. You go back to Jimmy Garoppolo. Before he got hurt, I think they were 3-0, 4-0 with Jimmy when Tom was suspended. Jacoby Brissett, he did a good job. Jacoby was the quarterback. We came up here on a Thursday night when I was with the Texans, and they ran speed option and they did some different things with Jacoby. So, I think give it time and you'll be impressed with what Josh can do with Drake Maye.
On to the NFL real quick. You brought up Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure you hear this. I'm interested if you see it. Do you feel like the Chiefs are getting calls that they should not be getting? You probably lived that with the Patriots, the argument on the other side of things.
I mean, I just think that the rules surrounding the quarterback nowadays, it really coincides with the quarterbacks being able to get away with doing certain things, especially the best one in the league. And the best quarterback in the league right now, until he's knocked off that throne of Super Bowl champion, is Pat Mahomes. And so, like, when you come anywhere near his head on a late rush, or you try to, hit him when he's going out of bounds, Pat's a smart player. He's going to take advantage of that because those are the rules. And I think that's where they have to go back. Like the slide rule, Greg, is ridiculous. It's even trickled down to college. It happened in our Nebraska game. Like, if these guys are runners, once they break the pocket, they're runners. And so if they don't slide early enough and declare themselves down, then you should be able to hit them. But until that rule's changed, the great ones are going to take advantage of that stuff.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, they did some math yesterday I saw circulating. I'm a big Reddit guy. Not really. But Mahomes has 36 roughing the passer calls in the last 7 seasons of his career. Brady had 31 and 23. In the playoffs, in 19 playoff games, Mahomes has 8 roughing the passer calls. Tom Brady has 4 in his career.
It's incredible. I mean, I don't, again, I think, like, look, the prized commodity in the National Football League is the quarterback, right? I mean, it's a quarterback-driven league. If you don't have a quarterback, you really have no shot to win games. So in the end, people are clicking on their TVs and they're wanting to watch these quarterbacks. They don't want them hurt. They don't want them on the sideline. So I get it. They're trying to take care of the quarterback relative to the rules. But, I mean, there is some common sense with these rules, too. These guys are football players. And, if you look at, for example, Josh Allen, who I think is great. I mean, I think the guy's unbelievable. But look at what they do with him. They run him on power plays. They run him on, outside zone plays. I mean, he's like 250 pounds coming rolling down the tracks. It's hard to stop him. But when he's a scrambler, he can slide late and you can't hit him. It's kind of a weird thing for the defense to get used to.
If the Chiefs are able to get the three-peat, does Mahomes have a case for GOATness?
No, not yet. No. I mean, GOATness, if you think about what Tom did, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, how many AFC championship games he went to, how many Super Bowls he was in, then how many Super Bowls he won. Mahomes is great. I spent a lot of time with Mahomes before he was drafted. I have great respect for Pat. He's awesome. But no, to get to the top of the mountain, he's got a little ways to go.
Last one from me, Bill. The ratings for the national title game were the lowest ever. What do you think? What do you think that is?
I didn't know that. I don't know. I can't answer that one. I thought, look, in the beginning when Notre Dame opened the game, I was like, man, 18-play drive. I said Notre Dame, but then, obviously Ohio State went on that run, but Notre Dame came back. It was a hell of a game. I mean, I don't know. It seems to me that, maybe the playoff format has to be looked at a little bit, whatever it is. I do think college football, the enthusiasm for college football is high right now. I believe that, but I didn't know that. So that question, that's a hard one for me to answer. I watched it, thought it was a hell of a game.
Bill, a selfish question for me, but with you on the road talking to all these recruits, what is the feedback about BC and kids wanting to go there? Wiggy and I were talking about having Notre Dame in the national championship. Obviously, academic-wise, BC and Notre Dame are on the same playing field. So are guys looking at BC in a different light with you as the guy in charge?
Absolutely. I think that when you look at where we're at right now, and we go out, like we just hit every Catholic school in the last 3 days in New Jersey. And everywhere we go, the top recruits, I can't really mention names because I get in trouble with that, even though, I don't even understand where the NCAA is and anything. But if I mention a kid's name, I get fined or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, so wherever school we go to, the top prospect in each school that we've been to the last 2 or 3 days, including today, they're coming up to visit us, Courtney. They've already been to visit us. They've been to games. We signed 27 kids in the class of 25. We've got, I think, 10 portal guys, including 2 transfers from Alabama in incoming. We flipped the roster, and we feel really good about where we're headed. And I think that Boston College is a place that, as you can come there and you can have the opportunity to get a great football development program, get you ready to play in the NFL, get one of the best degrees in the country. And Boston College teaches you how important it is to give back to the community. So, I think we're in a good spot. We got to go do it, though.
I lied about the last one. Your old boss, Nick Saban, said this week that he believes that when it comes to NIL, there essentially needs to be a salary cap to keep everything equal. Which would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think there has to be, in some way, shape, or form, in conjunction with federal government, with the Congress, there has to be some type of college football commission created with a commissioner, with a cabinet underneath that commissioner that regulates college football. There's certain, like the other day, I'll give you an example. I was at a kid's basketball game, and after the game, they were like, hey, we want to take a picture with the team. So I jumped in to take a picture of the team. Oh, wait a minute. There's a couple kids that are, freshmen and sophomores. They can't be in this picture. It's an NCAA violation. Wait a second. Huh? We're paying kids. Like, what do you mean it's an NCAA violation for this nice kid to be in this picture? Like, What are we, out of our minds? It doesn't even make sense. So this has to be regulated, and there has to be a commission, and hopefully that'll happen at some point. It's not really in the near future, but I keep pushing that. I think other coaches are pushing that. I think that's the way it should go.
Bill O'Brien, as always, a pleasure. Thank you, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Bill O'Brien.